Hello there survivors, and welcome back to another video in ARK Survival Ascended. Today I'm going to show you how to rebuild this small little ruin house here in the Redwood ruin castle on Ragnarok. So if you want to rebuild this one for yourself, this is how I did it. It's a fairly simple build, a very short build, but I figured I would show you so you don't have to go and find it in the main live stream that I did. I am rebuilding this entire castle ruins, as you can see, so if you want to rebuild the rest, check out the other videos on my channel. Most of them should already be up by now, otherwise they are on their way. Anyway, if you enjoy seeing these types of build videos, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course feel free to leave suggestions for future builds down in the comments below. And again, it all starts with lining up these entrances so that we can make them usable. There we go, that works. And then we will see how well it will fit the rest of it. That's a decent fit. That's a pretty decent fit. We can just have some quarters to fill in the back. Hopefully that doesn't overlap too much on the outside. A little bit, but nothing too crazy. Nothing we can't handle. That's totally acceptable. Because basically this bottom layer is going to be kind of the foundation layer for the entire build, right? I would even say that we would spawn it here on the front as well. Get those full foundations in, and then we'll see what other additions we make. We can take some of these temporary foundations away now that we're starting to build here. It should all solve itself. There we go. So that's going to be the entrance here. This first layer is definitely still going to be castle tier because it's still in the stone structure. There we go. I guess it's worth the shot to see if that would still fix. I don't think we can place it there, so I guess we won't. Not too big a deal. Ooh, that is kind of a perfect match if we do that. Does that actually work? Look at that. That's perfectly aligned with the top here. Although we do need to remember that we used some quarters at the back. So that does mean that we can also have this one for that corner. Make that fit. Oh, I can't make that one continue down. That's crazy. Okay, so it kind of lines up perfectly. That's quite insane. I've never really had that before that well. I do think we're gonna have some pillars here, because then we can basically extend the building on the second layer, and here we'll have like a little workshop that has the overhang above it. I think that's nice. So we have that entire layer now, and now if we fill this up with ceilings, it should match up perfectly here with the front, and we'll want to continue that all the way to this layer. Yeah, that's matching up quite nicely. There we go. So yes, there's definitely some holes in here, and it's also definitely the case that I am on the outside, but this might have to be one of the walls fully repaired. I guess the downside is if I do this. Oh no, this one is gonna fit right in there. This one also fits on the outside. I don't always quite like if I have to rebuild the entire wall. Maybe we can just do this. So it kind of just looks like they repaired part of it. Maybe even I mean, there is a little sliver in that case. But that does look nicer. So I might go for that. Alright, so here on the front at least, these pillars, I think I'd want to be made out of wood. These ones, I'll definitely want to have made out of stone still, because that's still the bottom layer here. These ones as well, of course. And then I guess this layer definitely is going to be made out of wood, right? This is just the next floor. There we go. We can have a little entrance. We definitely also want to have a staircase coming up. Okay, so we can have a stair, but it's kind of going to be not connected to the wall, which isn't terrible, of course. Oh, well, this is going to be tricky, isn't it? Because half pillars don't quite work yet, but maybe we can work around it. There we go. Yeah, we can just overlap two railings into each other so that we can still have them follow the staircase. One minor issue is now that there we go. Yeah, that's what I wanted. It's still there. That's what we need. Okay. The question is, will it stay? Oh, it will. Good. There we go. So now we have a nice little staircase to get up here, which is exactly what we wanted. And we can, of course, finish that, but we'll need these in here. There we go. Just like that. And then definitely we probably want to have just that village skin there. So that's creating our nice little staircase from the bottom up here to the top. I do think here for these sides we can use the arches to get something really nice. Actually, we need it like this. Perfect. And then we want the trim skins for those, which we can change. There we go. That looks quite nice. I think we'll do it for these as well in the front. Awesome. So yeah, basically that creates a little bit of room here for like a nice little workshop for forges and stuff. You know? That's the beauty of these skins. And I guess then it's time to actually make a building. It's 3 wide right now. It's called the Variant Cycle gun, made by Sandy. Variant Cycle, if you search for that, you'll find it. Variant Cycle tool or gun, either one of those. So it's 3 wide. We want to probably expand that, but that might actually be a good thing. Because that means we can just add another layer out here, which also means, oh god. Nope, that's the one thing that I needed. Apparently, shouldn't go messing with things that were perfectly fine. There we go. Don't mess with those. Just add another layer around this. It's fine. It's probably better that way. We can add some extra details. So yeah, we're basically going to add just that little ledge around before we add the building on top. Which is going to add a little bit of 3D to this. All right, so what then is we want to have some of these small supports along the sides, I think. This one only has two. The one I use only has two, and they basically do the same thing. One has an outline and the other doesn't. There we go. So yeah, basically these are going to be our little supports going back into the building. There's nice little details along the side, at least of these sides where we have the building, of course, not here at the front. But yeah, then if we use the trim structures, we're already gonna get them in place. There we go. We can have those little support beams for the next layer. And we're basically going to turn this into like a very nice and simple little medieval house. Maybe a little blacksmith vibe with like the workplace in the front here. We might add like a little workplace at the side or at the back maybe. Probably the back because that feels like a little garden area. Or maybe here we could make the workplace. We'll see. We'll definitely have something here, of course. But like the forge, probably don't want to have that under that part. So there we go. We can add these skins in as well. Should definitely help with this nice wood texture contrasting with the normal stone of the castle or the ruins themselves. I actually want to have something here too to fill in that gap. You know, because yeah, there's kind of a hole in the front there. There we go. Now that is filled in too. All right, let's see. So basically what I would do here is create like a little area with a forge and a smithy. That's kind of already gonna do a lot. If we have smithy there, and we'll add the forge right next to it. Already feels quite nice like that. Totally fine. So yeah, I guess would be a little bit tricky, but we could get a little workplace going here maybe. There we go. Now we can finally use these. And awesome. I think there might actually be a skin for this as well. Actually, would this be possible? Kind of. We kind of could do this. And I think that variant is available for the RAM. So there we go. We could make the street go down like that. We need to fix that little corner, of course, but we have a little area. And I think then what I want to do here is the Castlecraft has a nice fireplace, which we're going to just use as a part of the smithy as well. There we go. Oh no, it's going to have to be right in the middle there. Otherwise, it's going to break my mind. Okay, come on. There we go. That looks quite nice. We'll have that here. We can, of course, have an extra little forge around it. And a little workplace here as well. The only downside, I guess, we can't really do it there because... Or can we change the size of it? I know CKF has that. I don't know if this... Oh, this can. Oh, geez. Oh, boy. What variants does it have? Large? Small? Okay, I guess it gets a little bigger if we wanted to, but that's gonna be hard to fit there. Let's see. So basically what we want to do is line this up a little bit more like there, maybe. Damn, look at how big that gets instantly. But this would work. This could probably already work. And I guess that's just going to be part of our little workplace now. There we go. Do we have an anvil? That would be good. There we go. Blacksmith Decor. This is exactly what I need. I just need an anvil like this. There we go. That looks fine. A little bit of detail here along the street side. But, yeah, I like that. Let's actually now focus on finishing this building. Again, I don't think I want to do anything too crazy or complicated for these builds. Or this building. Because we're going to have to build like a whole village. So we're kind of going to keep it quite simple here. Oh, there's 3... Oh, there's nothing simple about this, is there? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, so it's uneven. You know what I think we need to do? We take up this. So we make our lives a whole lot easier. Alright, we'll have window there, window here. Oh, we can't have it there then. Just like that. And I think we will have a little bit of a balcony over on this side. I think that could be nice. And I can probably do that. If I change those out, I should be able to add a few of these in. And I should be able to get those to look like the bigger supports. There we go. Or do I just use these ones? I might actually use these ones because they match the other ones we're using. There we go. So that just gives us a little tiny balcony on this side, which I feel like is a nice addition to kind of break this side up. Add a little bit of something special here. And especially if we're going to make like a little garden area, which I feel like we will, then that's going to be a really nice side to have a little balcony on. I did want to place that in, please. So yeah, we'll change those to actual windows, of course. That's going to be a village door. And then I guess we're basically going to just try to get a roof on this. Because again, I don't want to go too complicated on this building, just because we're going to have to build quite a few in this castle before it's done. There we go. We'll probably start with normal walls. We have 2 more, so maybe 2 windows in the middle. So we have this one, 2 windows in the middle. There we go. I think I probably want to have a beam at least going across these sides, right? Do I want to have one across all of it? No, because it's going to take away. I guess I only want to do the front, because then we have the support beams underneath it. The rest I think is going to be fine without them. Okay. So I do... Oh no, I didn't want to destroy my windows. So yeah, we do want to have the 2 walls up there. And then basically we're going to just go for a simple roof shape like that, because we can add so much details with all the skins that we have. I think that is going to be absolutely fine. So we have just the normal roof coming across. The one thing is that if I do my normal detail piece, that's not going to be possible. This, I guess, would still be possible. Yes, but is there even... I don't think that has a shorter variant right now. That is a little bit of a problem. A little bit of a problem. But maybe we can turn that into something special. Fix that problem. Oh yeah, we can. We can indeed. There we go. So yeah, we'll just have a little addition to go along with this. And it also means that we need some extra walls in here. But that's actually a pretty cool addition. Right? Making this a little bit more special. So the basic roof will just look like this on this side. And then we'll have, of course, these additions along the sides to make that more special again. There we go. And then we can add in those skins again. There we go. Looking nice. Yeah, with CKF you could definitely do something very nice and similar to this. A little bit easier as well. You don't have to change skins all the time. Okay, well, we'll have to flip them now. There we go. That is quite nice. I thought we had a way to also extend these. We had the eaves, right? Quarter roof. So we should also be able to add these in, right? There we go. Yeah, we can. So then we can still make this look quite nice indeed. There we go. So it kind of feels like it continues all the way around. That is quite nice. And I'm still very tempted to also just add in those. Although that's straight above the windows. That's the only downside of that. Maybe I'll do it a little bit higher up then. Because it is definitely a nice addition, right? And then if we skin the rest of it, it's gonna look like that. Quite nice. You can go across here as well. Let's add in these windows. I think those windows are quite nice for here. A little bit higher. There we go. There's so many options though. Quite like that beam continuing. Yeah, I quite like that. Let's do the same here on this side so that we have those sides of the building completed. There we go. Get the windows, and we have these windows here. We have those skins here. We have to flip. Oops. We have to flip this one. There we go. That's quite nice. That's coming together. And then we'll just have to fix this part of the build. And that means that we'll have a little quarter roofs around the outside first. Can kind of just continue all the way like that. Add a little lip and then fill in the main roof, of course. Nice and simple as that. Yeah, and that chimney actually works quite well here on this side. Although, if we can, we kind of want to place it slightly more forward. Just a tiny bit, so that if I turn it into... There we go. So now it's not glitching with that wall. Perfect. That is looking quite nice. We'll skin all these. There we go. Then, of course, we have to change all these variants again, but it's going to be worth it. We're going to have our first nice little village or townhouse in the castle walls here. A nice, simple little home. There we go. Flip them around. Just like that. There we go. Oh, no. This one, please stay in place. Yeah, there we are. Probably want to add a few more details. Along the top, maybe. Maybe something like this. And I actually think then for the middle, we're not even going to use these skins. We're going to go steampunk and use these railings, because they are quite nice. I think that works. Just to spice up that roof a little bit, you know? Make it a little bit more special. Got the little workplace in front. Little workplace here at the side as well. The blacksmith. Yeah, I quite like that. And that's going to be it. That's how you rebuild this small little ruin in the Redwood Castle on Ragnarok. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.